What's up, guys? With all of the changes and working from home, we're all using our webcams on our computers and we're participating in web meetings, and we all want to make sure that we look our best. Today I'm going to go over a couple of things you can do to make your webcam and video stuff go from looking like this to this for under 50 bucks. So the first thing I want to talk about is probably the easiest and it's the cheapest. Well, it's free. And it's cleaning up your background. Obviously, I've not done a very good job. I still have a bunch of wires over here and some other stuff. And this wire here is what powers all my overhead lights for my normal workspace. So I've not done a very good job, but I cleaned up my desk a little bit, as you can see from the previous one, and it makes a huge difference. So the first thing you can do is when you're gonna have a video call or conference to someone, just make sure wherever you are is picked up, the background looks nice, etc. The second thing you can do, and this can be free or cannot be free depending on your circumstances, is you want to darken the background a little bit. This is probably the easiest for most people. This is what I like to do. It's how I like to shoot. There's a whole science of lighting we could go into, but in general, having a dark background is going to be really easy to work with. The other thing a dark background does for you is it makes you stand out a little bit more. Of course, if you're wearing a black shirt like me, it's not as pronounced, but it helps people focus on you and not the background. Number 3 is all about lighting. And there's a bunch of different things you can do to make your lighting a lot better. Probably the most important thing you can do, though, is make sure you're lighting your face. Make sure you're lighting what you want to be highlighted. This is the light I use. It's from Amazon. There's the model number right there. This light is awesome and it's relatively inexpensive. You can see right here, it's about $22 on Amazon. It works great. It runs on AA batteries. It comes with these different filters that you can put on to change the color temperature. I don't really use any of those, at least for this setup. Apparently it helps you fall asleep at night or something too. And I have this position kind of up to my upper left. So I don't know, probably the corner of the screen you can see if I put my hand here, it pretty much blocks all the light. And that's a good position to put it in. If you move it kind of back towards here a little bit, you can see it changes the way the lighting works. If that's your thing, you can do that. If you put it right in front here, or on top, it looks like that. And if you put it right in the front, you get more of a flat look to your face. So depending on who you are and what you like, you may want to experiment with your lighting position. I tend to like mine kind of off to the side here. The other thing you can do is accent lighting, like these. Now our company colors are kind of orange and blue, and so that's why I've got those there. And you can do these really, really inexpensively. The bulbs I have in there are Philips Hue, and they're a bit expensive. I think they're $30 or $40 each, plus you have to have a base station and everything. But if you know what colors you want, you can get pre-colored bulbs, or you can even get inexpensive RGB bulbs on Amazon or other places like that. The housings are just cheap, $10 from Ace. They have the little clampy thing on them, and they tend to work really, really well. The fourth thing is all about flattering angles. If you have the camera down low, or if you're sitting way too high, excuse the head cut off, but if you're sitting really high like this, the camera's looking up at you. That can be good from a power standpoint. And as long as it's not too much, it's not gonna be a huge deal, kind of like it is here. But in general, if you lower your seat down just a bit, and you have that camera just maybe at this level or just looking down on you, it's gonna be a lot better. We all know what happens when we pull out our phone and accidentally turn on the camera and it's pointed up at us and we look like Ursula. That's what we don't want to have. And if you have the luxury of getting the camera up higher, that's a lot better. If you have a laptop, maybe you lower your seat, maybe you get a stack of books and stack the laptop up a little bit higher so that the camera is looking down on you instead of up into your nose. The last thing I'm going to talk about is removing distractions. Now I know that doesn't really come into play with the background or the look or anything like that, but it helps a lot if you are focused on a meeting that you need to be part of. So doing things like making sure your pets and your children are not going to bother you, or your significant other is not going to bother you while you're doing the meeting. Making sure that you have your computer set up so it's not going to ding, turning your phone on silent so it's not going to ding, and just making sure that you are giving yourself 100% attention to the meeting is going to make the experience a lot better, and it's going to make everybody else a lot more comfortable. As far as webcams go, there's a huge range that you can find. If you have one built into your laptop or phone, there may not be a lot you can do with it, but in general, if you follow these tips, you should still get pretty good results. If you have a desktop computer, you can get inexpensive webcams all the way up to fantastic webcams. The one I'm filming on right now is a Logitech C922, and I think it works great.
Unfortunately, in April 2020, right now, it's really, really difficult to find a webcam. And if you can, they're very expensive. I've seen this webcam that I'm using now go for $200 to $300 when normally it should be about $70. And if you want to get really fancy, you can even use a DSLR or another type of camera. And some of them will let you plug in straight to your computer, and other ones you'll need to run into something called a capture card and then plug that into your computer. So as you can see, there's a lot of things you can do to make the video a lot better. I hope these tips help you guys. I hope you have fantastic looking meetings the next time you have one. Hit like, get subscribed, and I'll talk to you later.